Oh, easy, bud. Well, guys, I'm back at it again. Had to go home for about 5 days and get caught up on some work. And I've got Sally with me back there, riding Dakota. Just the three of us coming in. And it's going to be a short trip, just a weekender. Let's see what we can find. Well, it's been a few years since I've been in here on this side. I have about a half hour more to go to camp. Let's see where we want to set the tent. Maybe have time for an evening hunt. Well, I think it's home. I put a little high line set up back here, made with pack saddle ropes because I left my high line in the trailer. Threw a log up between these branches here to put my saddles up, and just getting ready to undo the manis, or the panniers I should say, and it's going to be home for the night. All right, camp is set. Heading out for the evening. There's a spot up here that I know that last time I was in here, given that was 8-9 years ago now, but there was a herd with a bull hanging out just about a half mile, quarter mile from here. A little drainage, so that's where I'm heading for tonight. See if they're in there. That'll tell me where I need to go tomorrow. There's a set of prints. No fresh poop. I bumped something. I'm not sure if it was a deer or an elk. Kind of sounded like an elk, the way it took off. Didn't bound. It was pretty good sized. But it's dead quiet. Nothing's really playing games. I bugled in here a couple times. Just think there's not much here. But that marks one spot off the map, so tomorrow I know I'm going to saddle up and go north and camp a couple miles. And there should be some pretty good country up there. Well, no elk in there tonight. All the sign I'm seeing is pretty old. There are some tracks, but they're not that fresh. So, I think that animal I bumped is probably a deer. Just a big bodied one. Kind of have bounded a little bit like a deer, so I'm going to assume that's what it is. And there's a lot of deer sign. We're in some pretty good deer country. But this is a little timber pocket that's out of the way and there's nothing much around it, so I found elk in there in the past, but they're either there or they're not, and I wanted to check it off the list tonight so I can go focus tomorrow on a different area. So yeah, that's kind of that. And I'm just trying to get back to camp. Got about a mile to go, and should be getting there right about dark. Well, it's a little after 5 in the morning. Making some hot tea, and so I got the Red Cliff Seek Outside tent, and it is pretty spacious in here for one guy, as you can see. Kind of yard sailed. Got my little pack stool and sitting in here making tea, and got the horses fed up. They're eating right now some hay cubes I packed in, and we let them eat for half hour, an hour, and then we're gonna saddle up and head out of here around 6. So every morning you get to watch the sun come up from the back of a horse riding down a ridge high in the mountains. It's pretty special. Okay, I'm gonna leave the horses tied up here, and just a little hop over the top, and should be in some good elk habitat. See what we can get done today. It's possible that's another hunter, but I'm hearing bugles. All right, I've got 2 bulls. One's about 150 yards in front of me on this ridge. Bugle and another one down further. These elk are on the move. They're going to bed. I'm just trailing them. Thankfully there's 2 of them bugling at each other, so I can keep tabs on them. So I'm trying to circle around on those 2 bulls. I was within 100 yards, 150 yards of the one, but there's just a thick wall of choke cherries between me and it. It's uphill. He wasn't going to go through it, so I'm trying to get down on his level. I'm circling around. They were out here feeding this morning. I got fresh urine in the dirt tracks. I'm just following their tracks right into the timber here. I'm hopefully going to be down on their level. So we'll see. So my GoPro battery died. So I can't film any more of that with you, but that herd bull was standing at 80 yards and he wandered off with his cows. I'm gonna let him go. I know right where this satellite bull is though. And I'm gonna go try to stick him. Unfortunately, I'm not gonna film this because I can't film and shoot at the same time without the GoPro. So, I'll keep you informed. I got another bull bugling. He's sounding off on his own next ridge over. So, hurrying my way across these rocks over to him. He's sounding off. He's done it twice in about 15 minutes. So, go with the one that's talking, right? Got a growler. Well, shoot. I had that. I couldn't film it for you, but I had that bull. He was a 6-point. He was just down the hill here, 50 yards. I could see his antlers, couldn't see his body. And decided he didn't like it and turned around and walked off. And he bugled here. He's pretty far down the ridge now. So I looped right back through here about an hour ago. And I just hiked down there to check his tracks. And he smelt where I walked. So he got to right where my boot tracks were from earlier. And that's where he turned. Instead of coming up the hill, he went down and shut up. Now he's dead silent. So shoot. I thought there was a bull in here. And I walked through there. Second guessed myself and came back. Sure enough, he was there. He just didn't answer me the first time. Outplayed me. But he was a nice 6-point. Still cool to see him. Well, you don't see me do this very often, but I'm actually walking away from bugles right now. These elk have sucked me clear down to the bottom of this drainage. I got a huge hike out of here to get to where the horses are. They're about 2 miles away. A lot of vertical, so they just keep sucking me down and sucking me down. Keep chasing bugles. There's literally been bugles all day long, and I'm not complaining, but it's 4:30 right now, and I got 2 hours basically to dark, 2.5 hours, and I want to go see if there's that herd that I got on this morning is up there closer to the horses. So that's it. Walking away from bugles. So somebody didn't like the choke cherries. I don't like them either. Well, unfortunately, today's my last day. This was a shotgun approach for the last day. Came in here last night and knew I was going to have today to hunt and have to head out tomorrow morning. So not bad though. I mean, 2 encounters. That's pretty good. Pretty happy with that. Felt like I left it all on the table. Just wasn't able to quite get it done. That last one was pretty dang close. I just needed him to turn and come my direction about 20 yards and would have been over. But it is what it is. That's elk hunting. Keeps you going back for more.